Hey folks, everything new under the sun. Well, we know the Antichrist is coming, and we know that a Mark of the Beast system will be put in place. But what do they have to do to put a Mark of the Beast system in place? Well, they have to tear down the existing financial system to reset it, to restart it, to make something new, and really a reason to push. They need a reason to push a Mark of the Beast or a digital currency. We're not just going to switch over from our current economic system to whatever that new system is. Because well, that's just not going to happen. It's going to be a complete switchover, probably at a time of crisis. That's when these big changes come, and when they force us all into it or coerce us into something. And that's what happened this morning on the New York Stock Exchange. Apparently, there was a technical glitch, and this is the kind of thing that I would expect to see when it all goes down. Something like this kicking it off. And the other thing is that you can't discount some form of cyber attack. As we know, Russia is now effectively engaged with NATO. They've come out and stated that they are battling against NATO several times over the last number of months, and that voice is getting louder now. And so you would expect cyber attacks to become greater in frequency and intensity, to use the biblical description of end-time events. And that's what we see. Similar to substations being attacked, now the economic system is being attacked, just like NATO. The U.S. is attacking Russia's economic system. They're coming after ours. And I'll put it out there that I don't know if this is a cyber attack, but again, it's just a coincidence sort of thing that has caused trouble. So starting it off, it says... there was a technical glitch, as CNBC called it, in question as many stocks had abnormal moves. There's the text. Abnormal moves when stocks opening for trading, which triggered the resulting volatility halts. So basically, circuit breakers were triggered by something that happened basically at 9:30 this morning. Something snapped at 9:30 Eastern this morning when stocks opened for trading. They didn't. As instead, hundreds of New York Stock Exchange listed stocks were immediately halted after breaching circuit breaker limits. So they have in place these circuit breakers, which are supposed to prevent, panics in the market and that sort of thing, and put a pause on the trading of stocks if they go up too much, if they go down too much, to give people a breather, to kind of limit a panic and to limit what people can immediately take out of the markets when stuff goes sideways. And so circuit breakers being breached is not a new thing, but certainly it is an odd thing and an infrequent thing when it happens. So they said, we don't have the details yet, but it looks like some stocks opened and were automatically or erroneously triggered for limit up, limit down, which threw them into a halt status. Now you look at that and you say, is the computer logic all of a sudden failing that controls all of this? Or was there input by somebody that caused the computer and the artificial intelligence which manages the stock market to say, hey, there's something going on with these, we better halt trading? And, this is exactly what I would expect from some sort of cyber attack. This breaching of circuit breakers and basically the computer system trying to right what is wrong or correct what is wrong, and limiting trading to deal with whatever the volatility is that it thinks is too high. And again, this is exactly what you would think. So what caused the erroneous trigger for limit up, limit down? And that's the big question. Update. As of 9:48, all systems back normal, although that is an understatement in a market where nobody knows what the correct price is because everything started off wrong. And update, latest 2:15 Eastern, New York Stock Exchange is continuing to investigate the issues with today's opening auction, and impacted members may consider filing for clearly erroneous or Rule 18 claims that in a subset of symbols, opening auctions did not occur. So there's lots of money that was lost on this, and And hackers are going to try and hit whatever they can. It may or may not be successful, but they're going to try and take down and cause as much pain and trouble as they can. And even if this is not a hack, what was it, and why does the system work so well day after day after day, and all of a sudden one morning you wake up and something triggers it? So something interesting is going on here, something to monitor. I'll be interested to find out what the root cause of this was. That assumes they actually tell us what the root cause is. But think about everything with through the lens of the fact that we are at war effectively with Russia. NATO is, and that means we should expect some sort of retaliation. And Russia has been holding its cards close to its chest. It hasn't retaliated for Nord Stream. It hasn't retaliated for the bridge to Crimea. But maybe in these little things, this is where the retaliation is coming up. These anomalies that are occurring in the food sector, in the markets, on the power grid, in the supply chain, in the airline software that is going glitchy in Florida and other locations, and in Canada with the NOTAM situation. All these things happening. Isn't it odd? When you put all these together, trouble is happening with increasing frequency and intensity across the board in every sector. And you got to consider that it is a cyber attack, and that the government will not tell you it is or it's not, because they don't want to they don't want the American people and the Canadian people and whoever is supporting NATO, they don't want any of us to think that we're in direct danger from Russia, or that there's a direct conflict. What they want us to believe is that the Russia-Ukraine conflict is over there. It's away from us. It's not going to affect us. We can continue to live fat, dumb, and happy, and no one cares. And that's exactly how they want to keep us. And they'll keep doing their own thing in Ukraine and making trillions upon trillions of dollars via the war machine as that continues. And they're not going to tell you the truth until it's too late, until we're in the middle of all-out World War III. We're in an unconventional World War III right now, and have been since the start of the Ukraine war. And it is only getting hotter and hotter as they move to send tanks, Leopard tanks to Ukraine, etc. And as Russia considers more and more that, the truth is, and it's common knowledge, that NATO is directly involved, and they're going to start hitting NATO assets. And that's within their right, if you want to put it that way, in war, to target the enemy's assets. And is Russia doing that? Absolutely. Have we done it to Russia? You look at the evidence for the big things that have went on. Again, Nord Stream, Crimean Bridge, etc. You have to look at that and say, who did that, and why would Russia do that to themselves? It doesn't make any sense. But that was the story they were trying to convince the public of, that Russia was doing this to themselves, and also that Russia's the boogeyman. And that may not be the accurate and the truth in this relation. There's always bits of truth on both sides. So pay attention, folks. Eyes wide open. Look at these things when they happen, and consider, what are the options? A, what are they telling us? That includes Zero Hedge. What's Zero Hedge's bias on this? What is CNBC's bias on it? What are they telling us? You know what? This is going to be a non-story tomorrow. No one's going to remember this, and no one's going to actually find out what the root cause is. Hopefully we do. But I would bet maybe this is going to be buried under the couch, and we'll just go on as if nothing happened. Everything is awesome, and they won't notify anybody, even if the 3-4 letter agencies figure something out. They're not going to tell anybody. So be prepared, folks. I'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.